Hello and welcome to These Are a Few of My Favorite Things. I'm super excited today to show you this Black Angus that we started with in our fleshing video. So this hide has been tanned completely. I think it was in the tanning solution, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a little longer. It can stay longer. It doesn't hurt it. It just depends on your schedule and how quickly the hide is tanning. So it's strung up in the frame. I showed a different hide in my framing video, but I wanted to give you an update on this one since this is where maybe some of you started. So what we're doing right now on this hide is I am sanding it. And sanding is the step that you do after it's been fleshed and washed and tanned, strung up in your frame and dried completely. So once your hide is completely dry, then you can start the sanding process. So I'm going to show you a couple tools that I like to use when I am sanding. This is Kestrel. She's a good little helper working on hides. So the first tool I like to use is actually just a garden hoe. And this is kind of a cute one. A local blacksmith made it. I got it for my birthday and I love it. It's really cute. I think it's handy to use. It's got kind of a nice curve to it. It gets some good traction when you're scraping. It's got a pretty sharp blade on there. Not super sharp, but pretty sharp. And the way that I like to use this is I just kind of come and I start doing some scraping. And like I mentioned in the fleshing video, really what we're doing is we're getting all of that membrane off that was left when we were done fleshing. It's so much faster to get it off when it's completely dry. Now, like I said earlier, you do want to make sure that your hide is completely dry before you start doing this dry scraping, because it's just not going to be effective. It's going to just squish around if your hide isn't completely dry. So that's one tool I like to use, my little hand garden hoe. I don't know the name of this blacksmith, but I really love this little tool. So the other tool I like to use when I am sanding is actually just a pumice stone. You can get pumice stones in so many different shapes and styles. I really like this one that has the flat edges because some spots are a little tougher. It's nice to have a little edge that you can work, and it's also nice to have the flat sides. You can just kind of sand it. I like the little points because sometimes your hide will have little crevices that are kind of hard to get into. And basically when you're sanding, you can see here, it helps to get off that layer that maybe has some hair and other stuff stuck in it, and it helps to leave you with this really pretty white, almost like suede finish. And so when there's little spots, I'll just bring in my little edge and I'll work it a little bit, smooth it off. So that's kind of the basics on how I do my sanding. And the entire hide gets sanded. And the nice thing about this step is there really isn't a rush. You can take as much time as you want. So you can see like I've gotten a little bit more done, like in that corner there. I've got this framed up outside, as you can see, and I have it tarped, and I recommend keeping your hides outside tarped. It helps to protect them from predators, and it also helps to keep them dry. Unfortunately, we had some crazy rain the last couple days, and, well, not unfortunately, I'm so glad it rained, but unfortunately my tarp just wasn't quite as watertight as I had hoped it would be. And so this hide got just a little bit of moistness on it, and you can kind of see that like here on this edge. It's kind of lost a little bit of its white color, and it's also gotten like a little soft. And so that just tells me like, okay, that's moist. Don't really work on that. But there's other parts that are dry, and so I'm focusing on working on those. I'll come back to those moist spots after they've had a chance to dry off and get it all sanded down. So after sanding, you are almost done. The end is in sight. Woohoo! The next thing I'm going to do on this guy is I am going to come out with a leather conditioner, and I'm going to condition the whole hide. And there's a lot of options when it comes to leather conditioners. I really like to try to find something that's organic or all natural, and you can make your own, but I haven't done that yet. I do, regardless of whatever leather conditioner I'm using, I do like to mix essential oils into it because I think it's good for repelling pests. I usually use cedar wood, and it smells nice. And I do think it has kind of a protecting property for the hide. And so this one will get a conditioner. Oh, there's Peregrine. He likes to come and help with the hides too. Hi, buddy. This one will get leather conditioner with some cedar wood, and I'll probably put like a little Siberian fir and maybe some sandalwood in it too, which just kind of gives it a nice earthy aroma that helps to repel any pests that might be interested in your hide. It does bring up a topic that we haven't really covered yet, which I think is really important, and that is protecting your hide from pests that might be interested in eating it. So that'll be coming in a future video because I think it's something important. So there you have it, sanding your hide. Super, super near the grand finale, and this is when you really start seeing it all come together. I'll show you the other side. You might not be able to see it because the lighting's not the best, but it's kind of fun to be able to get an idea of what it's going to look like. Isn't it pretty? You know, when it's all wet, when I showed it in the first video, and then when we washed it, you really can't see all the colors because it's so wet. And so now that this is dry, you can just see that it's got some really beautiful coloring in that black Angus. This is because he has a little bit of winter coat left in it, and a lot of the black Angus have kind of like a reddish winter coat. So I think this is going to be a really pretty rug. I'm excited to show it to you when it's done. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.